Hey, what's going on? I'd like to welcome you all to Warrior Soil. So this video is going to be about five myths regarding your credit score. You want to check out these myths because these are common myths, but they're wrong. So you want to make sure you have the facts regarding these 5 myths. Be sure to check out the whole video, all right? Let's get into it. So as I stated, it's important to know facts when it comes to your credit score and your credit in general. You have to know facts because facts are what's going to help you along the way and in the future once you finally do reach the score that you want. I like to just get right into it. I don't really like to clickbait too much. Number 1 is your credit score will not decrease while attempting to increase your credit score. This is not true. This is a myth. Honestly, when you're attempting to increase your credit score, you're doing things like maybe you're adding a secure credit card, maybe you're adding certain loans like a car loan, a vehicle loan or something like that. Or maybe you're just doing certain things like adding new accounts to your credit report. And adding new accounts to your credit report and doing things to help you long term can decrease your credit score in the short term. So to think that while you're trying to increase your credit score and you're on your journey to increase your credit score, to think that your score will only increase, that's false. Your score will decrease. I've experienced this over the years when I was trying to get to bettering my credit score and get into the 800s. I would constantly hit pitfalls where I would go down a couple of points in my credit score. And it's totally okay. Those are things that happen when you are trying to increase your credit score, because if you add a new credit card or if you add something new like a new account to your credit report, there's a high possibility that it may temporarily drop your score. And even the hard inquiries, they'll cause a temporary drop in your credit score as well. In order to apply for a secure credit card or a credit card, you're going to need to probably get a higher inquiry depending on which lender you go with. So that'll put a temporary decrease in your credit score. So it's completely normal for your credit score to decrease temporarily while you're trying to increase your credit score. Number 2 is your credit score will either increase or decrease. This is also a myth, and I'll tell you why. I remember a while ago, years ago, my credit score got stuck at a 660. It was stuck at a 660 for 9 straight months. Can you believe that? 660 for 9 straight months. And yes, of course, it was discouraging, but it happens. So to think that your credit score is either supposed to increase or decrease when you're on your credit journey is false. So that's something that's false. Expecting your score to just increase or decrease or just increase during your credit journey, it doesn't always work like that. For some people, their score is stuck in place for months. Like me, mine was almost a year. I was 3 months away before it was a year, So I was stuck at 660 for a while, but after the 660, it began to increase and go up. You can't really expect your credit score to always increase or decrease. Sometimes it will stay the same, and that's normal. So that's myth number 2. Your credit score can stay the same. All right. Myth number 3, and this is a big one, especially on the YouTube space and in general, because it's always the dispute. 800 credit score or $100,000. Would you want an 800 credit score or someone does do this for you, or an 800 credit score or this or that? And honestly, as someone with an 800 credit score, and I have been in the 800s for like going on 4 years, honestly, it's something to aim at for credit purposes, like just to keep you on your job as far as your credit score goes. But you can have a score that's less than an 800 and still receive the best interest rates. So the number 3 myth is an 800 credit score is needed and necessary in order to get the best loans and the best interest rates. That's false. You can have a score in the upper 700s and receive the same type of loan and interest rates as the people who are up in the 800s. Now, having an 800 credit score, it looks good, You're able to have bragging rights. I guess that's what some people use it for. For me, it's important because I'm up here telling people about how to improve their credit and how to increase their credit scores. So, of course, I need to be someone who has been in the 800s and know how to get there if I'm gonna try to teach other people how to get there. However, for everyone else who's not trying to help people or teach people how to increase their credit score, it's really not that important. As long as you get to a good or excellent credit score, you should be able to still receive good interest rates and good deals on loans. So just keep that in mind. And also, credit card companies, they're more than likely are going to still look at you the same if you have a score in the upper 700s and you manage your accounts and you're just not big on picking up a lot of higher inquiries and too many credit card accounts and things of that nature. It all depends. It's all case by case. But I will say you do not need an 800 credit score in order to get the best interest rates. You simply have to get up to the upper 700s. Once you do that, you should be fine. But if you want to aim for the 800s, by all means do it, because at least you can say you have reached the 800s throughout your lifetime, and that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. All right. Number 4, improving your credit score is a quick, fast process. This is something I'm always addressing on this Water Your Soil channel. I'm always addressing credit scores and how credit scores are not a quick fix. A lot of people believe that if you go and you do certain things, you can improve your credit score by 300 points dramatically, and you go from poor to excellent credit in the span of 1 month or 90 days or something like that. It normally doesn't work like that. That's a big time myth, and that's myth number 4. If you do think that you're supposed to have an excellent credit score immediately within 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, even a year, and you have poor credit, it normally doesn't work like that. I know a lot of people promote that, especially on social media and even some people on YouTube, but it normally doesn't work like that. Building up your credit score normally takes time. So you have to be conscious of that, because it's going to take some time, it's going to take some effort, and it's going to take some work. It took me 3.5 years to go from poor to excellent credit. Now it may not take you that. Like I said, it's all case by case. So it may not take you as long to do it. However, that's how long it took me. I have helped countless amount of people over the years with their credit, and it took them years as well. It didn't happen overnight. So that's a myth, and that's something that I want people to understand, especially when they come over here and you are a subscriber and you watch my channel. You're gonna realize that this is it's a marathon. It's not an overnight thing, and that's important for you to know. But during that marathon, you're gonna learn so much about credit, and in the end, you'll benefit from that. So take your time, enjoy the process. It was a long process for me. Like I said, 3.5 years, but in the end, it was all worth it, because I really haven't had any problems with my credit since then. And that goes back to me actually putting in the work and the groundwork. And that's what way I prefer the people around here, as well as the people who I help with credit. I prefer them to do it that way. You'll benefit more from it in the end. All right, so this is another big one. This is number 5, the 5th and final one. The 5th and final myth. Number 5 is getting items removed, aka disputes, will increase your credit score to excellent. No matter where you are on your credit report or your current credit score, if you dispute items and get them removed, you'll have an excellent credit score. And that is false. That's a big myth. And this is another thing, like number 4, this is another thing that's out here heavy. People saying that if you have disputes and you dispute your items and get them removed, you'll have good and excellent credit. That's false. I have had people that I helped over the years have items removed, and their credit score went from poor to fair. So that's not true. There is more that goes into a credit score than just items deleted off of your collections. Trust me, there's much more that goes into your credit score than that. What credit really comes down to is your management of debt. Debt management. So you have to have the right amount of accounts, the right type of accounts, as well as be managing them correctly. So it's deeper than, if I dispute items and dispute accounts and dispute hard inquiries and dispute this and dispute that, because that's all I hear these days. Dispute, dispute, dispute when it comes to credit. And honestly, it's so much more to that. Your credit score is so much more than having items deleted. There are a lot of people out here that do have disputes and they do win disputes. They get items deleted and their credit score still doesn't hit good or excellent range. So it's a big myth, and I kind of want the myth to go away, because one thing that it's doing is robbing people of the opportunity to learn more about credit. When all you want to do is have someone remove items from your credit report, you're not learning anything about credit. In fact, you're more than likely gonna add more items in the future to your credit report that need to be deleted, because you're gonna figure, well, if I got those old items deleted, I could just run up these accounts and be late and not pay, and I'll just pay for somebody to delete them. So you create a bad habit. It's one bad habit formed and one bad habit continued. You don't understand how credit works, nor do you understand what is affecting your credit score. So I kind of wish people would get out of this mentality that credit scores is all about trade lines and all about having disputes and getting items deleted. Credit scores are so much more than that. And I think the moment that we wake up and realize that, more people will be able to improve their credit score, not only short term, because short term solutions usually lead to short term results, but over here at Water Your Soil is about the long term. We want long term results over a lifetime, because as I always state, this is a marathon. This is not something that just goes on for one day or 1 year, or until you get your home, or until you get the car you always wanted, or until you get the credit card that you always wanted. This goes on well after you get those things. You're gonna need to know what affects your score and what helps your credit score. And around here at Water Your Soil, this is what we talk about. So it's more to credit than these myths that I talked about in this video. It's your job to learn as much as you can about credit, your own credit score, what works for your credit report, and what doesn't work for your credit report. Because as I always state, every credit report is different. You can have one person with a 660 and another person with a 660, and their credit reports can look totally different. So every credit report is different. However, you want to make sure you understand your credit report and what hurts your credit report and what will help your credit report. And the only way you're gonna learn that is learning as much as you can about credit and applying what you learn to your own credit report. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. I hope all of you out there have a safe new year. I hope all of you have a prosperous and productive new year. If you're trying to improve your credit for the new year, you're at the right channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I'm out.